Hello, everybody. Welcome to the July 2022 Equal Opportunity Review Commission. My name is Chuck Durham. I'm the diversity manager here for the city. I'm going to turn it over to our commission chair, Connolly, right now. Commissioner.
Thank you, everybody, for joining the call today. Should be a quick one. We reviewed the plans this morning, Apasna, Chuck, and I, and everybody did a great job. So to get started, can I get a motion to approve June's minutes?
This is Commissioner Vasquez. I vote to approve.
Thank you.
Commissioner Hall, second.
Perfect. Everybody indicate by saying aye or raising your hand, please.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, great. Okay, do you want to, Chuck, do you want to start
Yes.
off with 220701?
22,
Background.
Yep, 220701 is from HR and Civil Service. It's the background investigations. And I believe we have Charlene Holder on the line.
Hi, everyone. This is Charlene. I'm the HR manager, and we placed an RFP for our background investigations. That's backgrounds for anyone who is going to be hired with the city. It does not include police and fire, but all other employees would go through this background investigations. We do a different one for our police and fire people. We had 7 or 8 respondents, and we found that employer's choice was the best one. They offered the most for what we need them as far as the backgrounds. They offered a good charge for us. They have been in business for quite some time, and we chose them over the others because they looked like they would do the better job.
Okay, well, I see that you chose an MBE firm, so your percentage is 100% for the prime. I understand that it was professional services. Was there anywhere in this contract that could have been carved out for a woman-owned business to be able to be a sub?
That I would have to leave to answer by the employer's choice, because I don't believe so, because in backgrounds, you don't want to give out, like, you don't want to subcontract different parts of the employment process. So I would have to ask employer's choice to answer that question.
Well, I understand that it's like private information, and there could be some restrictions there, even legally, I would think. So commissioners, I'm fine with this percentage. I understand myself. I understand the reason why it would be difficult to sub it out, but I'm going to leave it open for any of you to ask any further questions of Charlene.
Hello, everybody. This is Jesus over at Employer's Choice Screening. I'm the contract manager. We are also an SBA 8A firm, as well as a DBE certified firm in the state of Pennsylvania. And so just in our industry, just to give a little clarification, it usually is, as you mentioned, not common to kind of split up the background check with other MBEs or sort of that sort when doing these contracts. What we can do, if there's any sort of internal goal that we have to meet, what we've done in the past on federal contracting is just kind of look a little deeper and provide, paper or supplies and kind of break down if you need more of an MBE percentage that way. We do business with other minority businesses, women-owned businesses. And so if we need to split, a little bit further down, we can, and we can provide some information of other companies that we do business with. But in terms of the background check, that's where we kind of do the work ourselves as a prime.
Well, Jesus, what I would ask then, since you've stated that if you are able to loop in a WBE for business for any any services that relate to this particular contract. If you want to just let us know down the road and just to give us an update, we would appreciate those efforts.
Okay, sure. Yeah, we can look in our list of network and, we do business with other minority businesses, women-owned businesses. So we just have to kind of go down on the services or the products that we use to kind of do our work.
Okay,
Okay.
well, customarily, we would have asked that you had made that effort before you came before us. But if you weren't instructed to do so, then I don't put the blame on you.
Okay.
My name, I vote to approve this. This is Jim Balthrop.
Okay, you're making a motion to approve?
Yes, and I'm completely satisfied with this. Is a small contract about being 100% minority. I wouldn't press the issue about other contracts. It's not a large contract, so I'm completely satisfied that it's 100% minority.
Thank you.
Sarah?
Can I just ask a quick question? Is that,
Sure.
am I out of order now that there's a motion on the table?
No, you're not. You're
Okay.
more than welcome to.
Can I just confirm that this firm is based in California? Is that the case?
We are. Our main business is in California, but we do have state licenses and certifications in other states as well.
Thanks for bringing that up, Sarah. I was unaware.
Kind of follow up on that then, is it possible then that the actual employees that would be doing the work on this contract would be located in Pennsylvania, or does it not work that way?
No, it's an online platform, so all the work is performed by our employees in California. The only work that's performed outside of California is those specific court researchers that we have the network in each state as we pull records in those counties or states.
Okay, we still have a motion on we have a motion to approve this. Does anybody else have any questions?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just offering a second to the motion.
Well, I never mind. I'll leave it alone. I'm just, I'm sorry. I missed the fact that this was California. I thought it was a local company, and we can discuss that at another time. I'm confused that contract this small, we'd have to sub out to somebody in California. So I'll just table my thoughts.
Erin, you're on mute.
I said, this is the forum to express your thoughts. This is the meeting. We don't have meetings after the meeting about the meeting. So if you have something to say, then and you have concerns, then this is where it needs to be brought up.
Well,
We encourage it. We encourage it. Put it that way.
Well, I'm just very concerned because I thought I had misinformation because I thought that this was a local firm. And as the president of the Black Contractors Association, I certainly could have provided a member to really be competitive with this out-of-state contractor. So I would take that error because I apparently missed the fact that it was out-of-state contractors. So I'm not going to hold it up because of my error.
Well, Charlene, then you can answer my question. How is this advertised? Is this part of the ITQ?
Well, this was an RFP that went out to everybody, and all the people here who are registered on our beacon system would have had the opportunity to see this and bid on it. So it's not like it didn't go through our beacon system. Everybody who's registered on beacon and picked this category had the opportunity to bid on it.
Okay. Upasnik, is there any way that you can make this what you're sharing here, the full? Yeah. Or scroll it down. I mean, I'm only seeing, that's it. That's all that's on there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have a motion to approve. We have a second by Sarah. All in favor indicate by saying aye or raise your hand.
Second, the second was from Jenny, just for the record.
Oh, I'm sorry. Second was from Jenny Plaza. All in favor indicate by saying aye or raising your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. And Jesus, we would appreciate a follow-up if you are able to bring in some WBE.
Okay, and as I mentioned, we are a DBE in the state of Pennsylvania through the Department of Transportation. And we do business with other government agencies in Pennsylvania. So us based in California, it's just kind of the industry standard. But we do business in Pennsylvania.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Mhm.
All right, can we
Thank
move
you.
on to the next one, please?
Thank
To 220703, which is the El Paso Street remediation project. This is a real good one. All these companies, as you see, are in PA. And both the prime and the subcontractors are all in Pennsylvania.
Okay, and
They're local too, by the way, in the region.
So the veteran owned got
The veteran is the prime.
is the prime. Okay, and the two subs are there's 5 subs there. They're all
5
WBE
subs.
or
Right.
MBE. Okay. Commissioners, does anybody have any questions?
Yes.
Who's representing this?
Yes, this is Jump Off up again by contractors. I would just one quick question. The contract looked good, as Chuck said. I was just wondering, just for my curiosity, my record, was the MWBE, was the WBE African American or was it a white contractor?
The WBE Ray Lynn is
Yes.
African-American. Pittsburgh Mobile is woman-owned, not African-American. And both Cooper's Trading and Dream Trucking are African-American.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay. Anybody else have any questions? No? Can I get a motion?
Commissioner Hall, I make a motion to approve.
Okay, can I get a second?
A second.
Thank you, Sarah. All in favor of approving these plans, indicate by saying aye or raising your hand.
Aye.
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 Okay. Thank you. This motion passes. Can we move on to the next plan, please?
Thank you. The next plan is 220704. This is the McCandless Avenue stair replacement. These numbers are also good. So Morani is a Pittsburgh-based company.
Yeah. I know.
All 3 of the subs are right in our area. And they were able to get the 25%.
Okay. Let me see. What is this? Go back up. What's the title of the project again?
McCandless Avenue stair replacement. This is in the Stanton Heights area of the city.
Okay.
And both Reed and Arden are African Americans. Is Jim.
And we have Richard from Domi, who's on the call if you have any questions, commissioners.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Richard? No? Can I get a motion?
I'll move to approve. Commissioner Sweet Cushman.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
A second.
Thank you, Arthur. All in favor indicate by saying aye or raising your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Thank
All right.
you.
That passes as well. Thank you, Richard, for getting on the call.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody who's on the call. You had a project. We will ask you to leave the call now, and we're going to go into our ITQ contracts.
Everybody.
Okay.
Paula?
Thanks, everybody, for participating.
Good afternoon, commissioners. Thank you for joining. We are looking at 3 new companies for ITQ these are basically ITQ companies, and these will be pre-selected for the ITQ work orders as and when they come along. And these will be used for traffic-related plans. So the first one here is Gibson Thomas Engineering Company, and they have commitment from Drive Engineering Corp and a WBE, and they have the subs have confirmed the commitment. The second one is Traffic Planning and Design. They have a commitment from 4 MWBEs, SciTech, E-Holdings, American Geotechnical and Environmental Services, and Centaglo and Lindsay. Then the third one is GPD Group. They have received commitment from these 5 companies. One is an MBE, 3 WBEs, and 1 veteran-owned. And all the certifications have been reviewed. So we can get your approval, commissioners, on this.
Can I get a motion?
I'll move to approve. Commissioner Siegel.
Can I get a second?
Commissioner Hall.
Commissioner
second.
Vasquez, I second. Okay.
Karen had her hand up first. Thanks. Okay, all those in favor indicate by saying aye or raising your hand.
Aye.
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 Any opposed?
I just abstain because I'm really very new to the process. And I
Yeah,
have to get a better understanding of how these ITQ companies are selected, the criteria. And I just need to be, I plead ignorant, and I just need some more information on that. And I would to probably chat with UPAR and Chuck at a time that I can gain more understanding.
well, the next thing I'm going to bring up might shed a little bit more light and open things up for you a little bit. Apasna and Chuck had a call and I at 10 o'clock, and I raised a question, and then I said, let's raise this question again while all the commissioners are on. I can't remember the specific situation, like the plan or the contractor. Chuck remembered them.
Yes.
But they did not. Oh, Allegheny Electric, was that what it was?
Allegheny Electric, yes.
Yes, and they were at fault for not following through with their commitment to paying a sub. You know, we discovered this, and I wanted to know what the ramifications of that was. So go ahead, Chuck, take it from there.
Yes, the Allegheny Electric did not fulfill its obligation with one of our MBEs. So we took them to our general counsel, and they decided to make sure that they're not on any government contract for a year, which was great to me. I really wanted them to go a little bit more public with it, to use them as an example. But
Yeah.
I think people know now that you guys and us are not playing. You say you're going to do something, you have to do it. If not, you're going to be in the penalty box. So I'm glad that this administration is pushing it real hard, and I really appreciate it. They have my back when I go out and try to do these things. So that's where we are now, which is great. So anybody else who falls under that category will probably get the same thing.
Okay, well, good. We set a standard. I believe it was the first one that of its kind that came through where the prime or the sub did not get paid or perform or follow through with the commitment of the contract. So Arthur, I'm going to give you just a quick Reader's Digest version of this. This goes back, I would say at least 2 years. No, it was before COVID. So what, 2018, 2019?
19, yep.
Yeah. So what the city did to streamline processes, because to come in front of us, sometimes by the time all the paperwork is filled out and it gets to Chuck and Apasna and the EORC staff, the contract was scheduled to start. Okay, so it was just inefficient. And what the city decided to do is have a process where they had levels of contracts. So, and it's all based on the value of the contract and how much is going to be paid out on that contract from the city. And they solicited for all companies to apply, to be almost on a retainer, so to speak, for lack of a better way of explaining it. They're in this ITQ, kind of pull. Yeah, like a contract pool.
Yep.
So when different contracts come up, depending on the size of them, they are reached out to, and they get the opportunity to bid. So there is plenty of minority and women-owned businesses and veteran-owned businesses that you have to have your certification to be on this list of where you have the opportunity to get these contracts. And they put this together to make sure that these goals are being met. Just so you know, professional services can be difficult. A lot of them are self-performed because it's a specialty. Construction is a little bit easier to get more participation because it could be subbed out, it could be cut up. There's a lot of different jobs to perform that they can reach out to put it out to bid, so to speak. So that's what the ITQs are. This is a city thing, city of Pittsburgh thing. We normally get many contracts from the housing authority. That's completely separate. They do their own.
Right.
URA does their own, Sports and Exhibition Authority. So all the different authorities handle their own. This ITQ format is just for the city.
Yes, right.
So all of these businesses and all these companies that are MBEs, WBs, veteran owned have already been pre-screened, pre-qualified, have been awarded to be in this pool.
Very good. That's very good explanation. So I guess if there are companies that are new, that not included on the master list, how do we get those companies engaged?
Every year, good question, Arthur.
Perfect question.
Every year we add 30 or 40 new companies to our ITQs. And they can be minority companies, women companies, and veteran companies, but we do add to the list. Okay, to get on that list, all you have to do is reach out to our procurement department and just register to be on the list. There's nothing, but like the commission chair said though, you better have your paperwork in order.
Yep.
Because you'll get knocked off before it even comes to us, okay? So we add to the list every year, both with minority and women contractors.
And do the firms, once they get on, stay on indefinitely, or are they having to reapply every?
Well, what happens, Commissioner, is every so often we ask them to make sure their certifications are up to date. So if they keep their certifications up to date, they'll probably stay on. But if their certifications drop off, they drop off.
Okay, so who's policing that? Who's policing that? Who's checking that?
Our procurement department.
Okay.
Our procurement department checks the businesses. Upasana and I check the certifications.
Well, that's what I mean, the certifications. That shouldn't be every once in a while or every here or there. That should be done annually.
Yeah, we do. We check the certifications all the time.
Okay.
And they generally, they enter into a contract with the city for 2 to 3 years. I think Patty from DOMI can allude to this, that DOMI has decided to, they submitted, they got these 3 new companies, while the other groups in their department have decided to renew the existing contracts for another year.
Okay.
Good. Is that list available for the commissioners?
Yes,
So
Yes.
yes, you can get a copy of all the ITQ.
Yes.
Yes,
Very good. So it won't be a duplication of individuals that if we make referrals. Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, so Arthur, if you have companies that you're supporting and mentoring and helping along, then yeah, definitely have them get onto this and
Right.
get with Chuck and the procurement, fill out the paperwork.
right.
I certainly will. And thank you for that complete overview of the ITQ. Now I have a better understanding. I certainly appreciate that.
I appreciated the refresher too. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for asking.
And it really has speeded up. I mean, I've been on this commission for 10 years now, since 2012, and we would be in these meetings till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The fact that they've already been, already vetted in this process, and we've already approved these companies too. So you have to understand that, like, we've already approved the companies that are on here, the EORC commission. So this just, it was brilliant, actually. I forget the woman's name that brought this to us, but it's.
Yeah, Jennifer Olsinger started.
Yeah, it really has streamlined. She worked in DC, and they did it in DC, and.
Oh, you're talking about Miss Ricks, you're right.
Yeah.
Miss Ricks did it. Yes, she did.
She brought it to Pittsburgh. Yeah.
She brought it to Pittsburgh. Yeah.
She said that she was, really kind of gracious in the way she said it, but she basically was like, you guys are working way too hard when you could be doing it way easier. And it was confusing at first when it was presented to us, but then once it started to come into place, we like it.
Because the commission chair is right, because we'd have been sitting here till 3 or 4 o'clock.
Oh, it was
Easy,
brutal.
easy, if we didn't have a better process.
Yeah, and also just to pat my own back here, I wasn't the chair at the time. Even if I was a chair at the time back then, we would not be sitting here till 3 o'clock. I keep it moving.
That's good. That's good.
Yes,
And Chuck, that company that was removed, you said that they were removed for a certain amount of time, or?
Yeah,
A year.
yes, a year. We're going to remove
Okay.
it for a year.
And they weren't a minority or woman-owned business. They were the
not.
prime. They were the
were not.
prime.
They were
They
just the
didn't
prime,
follow through
right?
with their commitment to
A minority business.
the DBE.
Right, exactly right.
So there's penalties for that. And I brought that up this morning. I was like, what happened with that? I want to know what the penalty was, if there was a penalty, because it's our job. Well, I shouldn't say job, but it's our responsibility to advocate for these minority and women-owned businesses. That's our purpose here.
Right.
And it's also our responsibility to make sure that,
Right.
is Tracy's on?
And it's
I-
also.
I have a question about the Allegheny Electric situation. Chuck, you mentioned that that the city doesn't, isn't going more public with that information, but I wonder if there's a way, even without mentioning the company's name, that you can let folks on this list know of this example.
Yes.
Again, I'm listing the company's name, which
Yeah,
is
right.
a little punitive
well,
to say.
let me tell you what else Upasna and I do that you guys do not see. We track these things like you would not believe. So we're in touch with the primes and the subs almost on a weekly basis. So I'm on my primes all the time to update the system, because if they don't update the system, it comes up red to Upasna and I. So we know who's not doing what at a specific time. So we call them and we let them know, hey, get your act together. because we can see what you're not doing.
Right.
So,
Okay.
yeah, we have a monthly audit. Paul and I do a monthly audit of all our primes and subcontractors.
Great. Thanks, Chuck. Tracy has her hand up.
Gracie, and also Commissioner Monica, if we didn't get a response from.
I didn't have my hand up. I didn't have my hand up. I'm sorry.
That's okay, Monica. Tracy?
Yeah, I just had a question. I had missed what company it was, but my question's been answered now. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we do a monthly audit. It normally takes, Paz and I, we set aside the first week of each month
Mhm.
to do our audit. Okay, so it's not like it's an overnight thing. It takes us a while to go through what? Paz and I has at least 80 contracts to look at. I have at least 40 or 50.
Okay.
So we do, with the first week of each month, we take our due diligence and we do an audit and we make sure everybody's in compliance. That's how we knew that.
I just think letting those, especially if folks get into the red zone, as you were suggesting,
Right.
sharing with them sort of the cautionary tale, like this is real, listen to what just happened.
Right.
You know, with one of our bigger primes.
Right, now.
And another thing I want you guys to be kind of looking for is some of these companies getting repetitive repeat business all the time. If you start to see a pattern where the departments are picking one prime over the other, one sub over the other. I mean, everybody that does a great job has the right to get more business, but that's not our mission. Our mission is to give all of these DBEs the opportunity to learn and become a stronger company and get more experience so that they're doing better and becoming more successful. Arthur, I can't stress it enough. If these DBEs that you're supporting and championing, they have to get their certification. They can't even come in front of us without it. Whether it's the Housing Authority, Sports and Exhibition Authority, we will not consider any DBE if they're not certified. Okay.
Understand totally. Thank you.
Okay.
And always remember, please, tell your companies or the companies that you might want to do business with, please register on Beacon.
Beacon, I was just about to say that. Beacon
That
and
way
the
I can-
Housing Authority,
Yes.
the Housing Authority vendors website.
Yes, that's the key to this whole thing.
But
Because
the Housing Authority does a fabulous job of sending their bids out to the bidder list. Every time there's a project coming up, they send the email out for the bids.
Now, I do have a wish list with the mayor right now. And on the top of that wish list is, which I don't know will happen, this is a wish list, that we, as a city, pick our subcontractors. Okay, say the prime wins the bid, which is, it could be anybody, right? But we would push the Pittsburgh business community first and foremost, and then pan out. Right now, the primes pick their own subs. And I agree with Commissioner Chair Conley that I've been working with Domi to get more businesses in the game, not the same people all the time. So I have been working with them to do that. But
Let me tell you how important that is. That is such a critical situation because majority of mine, I said majority of my members and my contractors, their names are used just to be provided for the short list. But once the determination is made in terms of selection, the primes revert back to the contractors or the subcontractors that they're familiar with and that they're doing business with. So that is critical.
I agree.
In the sales world, which I'm a salesperson, that's called a beauty pageant, and that is a huge waste of everybody's very valuable time if they're not going to take the other bids into serious consideration.
Right. So that's a big key. If we can start, and I'll tell you who does a good job at that, and you wouldn't believe it though. PennDOT PennDOT does
I believe
a
it.
great job at that. Great
Yeah.
job. They do a great job. I gotta give them your credit for that. So, we're trying to go down that path too, where we start selecting the subcontractors.
Chuck,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I have a question. I just wanted to go back. We were talking about, making this more public. With the fact that this is a commission for the city of Pittsburgh, we fall under the Sunshine Act, so our meetings are public.
Yes,
I don't know if the city is going to, or if they would like to see us, really promote these meetings, that they're open to the public.
yes.
Because if they're open to the public and the press is here or individuals are coming to see this, just by means of us doing our work, the word will get out.
Right. And if you guys really read 177A, there are 4 or 5 penalties that you guys can impose. It doesn't have to come from me. Read 177A, the penalty phase. There's stuff there that you guys can impose on non-compliance.
Okay, do me a favor, Chuck,
Yes, ma'am.
on behalf of the whole commission as the chair. When you have Mayor Gainey's ear, because we are appointed by the mayor,
Yes.
I'm curious to his take on that. How does he want us to promote that these meetings are for public consumption? If anybody's interested, they can view the recording.
Yes.
Join the meeting.
Right now, Chairman, they can go right out to YouTube as soon as we're done with this meeting and go right through the meeting all over again.
Okay.
All of our meetings are put on the YouTube channel for anybody to view and see.
Yeah, but we don't really tell people to look, but
No,
but
we don't push
Tracy's
it out.
point, like,
Right, we can push
find
it out.
out if that's something that they want us to do. Because
Well,
that's one surefire way to attention and make sure that they're really.
well, I can say this about Mayor Gaines. He's really been behind me
Yeah, I know.
in pushing this more than the previous administration. So I'll give him that. He's been 100% behind me, Chuck, get it right and make it fair. So I appreciate that. And so that's what UPAS and I are trying to do.
okay, Chuck, can I digress for a moment?
Yes, sir.
I was not able to really vote on the last contract, the $75 million contract that was related to the Lower Hill.
Yes, sir.
And I have received so many complaints from not only my members, but people that are on the association that associated with the project that are looking for minority contractors. And their issue was the fact, was very clear. They were concerned with the number of local contractors being excluded from the project. And they were concerned with that local contractors that were qualified to be prime were just overlooked because of criteria that was set that that I think should be challenged. Let me give you an example. Like they had an out-of-town architectural firm. Okay, say this firm is going up against a minority firm, and this out-of-state contractor has performed maybe, say they've done 70 parking garages. Okay, and say this minority, which is a smaller firm, only has completed maybe 15 parking garages. But based on the sheer volume and opportunity that the majority contractor had, they will automatically dismiss or give favor to the larger contractor without truly considering the capacity and the fact that the person is local. And I think that just needs to be, we just really need to take a hard look at of including minority prime contractors that are qualified to participate more in local projects.
I agree with you 100%, Jim.
Let me speak to
However,
that, Chuck.
the URA is a different animal than the city. Let's keep that in mind. A. B, the URA does, I believe, reach out to a number of local minority businesses to do work.
And here's what you have to understand, Arthur. It's an RFP.
You got
If they answer the RFP and they come in over budget, then they're not going to get the work. The URA has the right, whoever owns that contract and is they have the right to pick who they're going to pick. They're going to pick it based on the fee, on who's going to be the less expensive.
Right. And let me
Now,
tell you,
it's sort of a catch-22 because the only way to get as big as we'll say Mascaro, PJ Dick, is to get more and more contracts and to get more and more. So.
and there's also with the city contracts, there's a prerequisite in there too, Arthur.
Be union.
If they accept the lowest responsible bidder, which is something that needs to change also. But that's the way it is right now.
You can't have that change.
Well,
You have to
it's
understand,
the
Chuck,
word.
it's
No, wait a
still
minute, wait a minute,
business.
wait a minute.
It's still a business.
No.
I'll go toe to toe about that all day long.
Here's the word, Commissioner Chair, there's the big word in that. Responsible, not the lowest bidder, so to speak, responsible bidder.
I know that's how the housing authority doesn't always pick the lowest. They don't.
I said the city. I don't know what the housing authority does. The city, that's the city. Okay,
The city can pick another, but when it comes to being a prime, the smaller DBEs have to work their way up to where they can take on these contracts as and have union employees and build their business up to the point where they are that big. They are a prime.
I certainly appreciate your attitude, but I'm telling you, and I've been approached approached to be a part of a group of minority contractors. I mean, a group from the African American Chamber to challenge that, because we'll never grow like that, because it has been historically that way.
Right.
You know, the last 25 years, there has been no growth for African American companies. So this does not do us
Arthur,
any.
I got one thing
If
to
you
say.
feel the same way a year from
please
now
allow
after being on this commission, then I'll be curious.
Commissioner, I'd like to say one thing that we as African Americans do not do. And I've been trying to do it since I've been here. We do not join forces to be the prime. We do not do that for some reason. A trucking company doesn't partner with another company to be the prime. They don't do it. I've asked them and asked them and asked them. I've asked A to be, well, A, B, and C. Won't you guys join together? That way you have the capacity.
JV, you can joint venture. They have the ability to joint venture anything. And get their numbers down.
Yes, they're
Here's
not
the
doing
thing,
that.
Arthur, we could talk about this for 2 hours and I would be more than, but I don't want to go that far. Arthur, 1 year from now, you're going to have a different opinion about that.
Yeah.
Right. Well, let me ask you, Mr. Chairman, let me just ask you this.
See how this goes.
Let me ask you one question, Mr. Chairman. How would you suggest, based on your experience, that these companies that are historically unrepresented get a better shot at being a prime?
Are they on Beacon? Are they building their business? Are they reaching out to other minority businesses on Beacon to JV for a project so that they can get their bid low? The bid has to be low. This is government. It's skinny. That's it is a catch-22. And believe me, I'm sympathetic to it. I've been on this commission for 10 years. I'm very sympathetic to it. But there has to be different strives to get there. I know many minority businesses that are primes, that are no longer DBEs because they're primes, because they've built their business to the point where they're over $12 million a year and over 50 employees, I think it is. You got to get there. If not, then you take the sub jobs.
Well, in my closing thought is I had a meeting yesterday with the Vice President of Development for that Lower Hill project, and they are aware from the inside what the problem is, because believe me, these prime contractors, white prime contractors, are not going to put African American companies in a position to compete against them. So this system right here is not working for us. And I'm not sure who you talk to, Commissioner,
But I
Yes.
talked to the project
Tracy, you want to
managers.
talk about it? Do you want to address any of this, Tracy?
I talked to the project managers extensively on the Lower Hill project, all the time.
Okay,
And I got a different vibe than you got
okay.
about what's going on up there. So
Okay.
I'm not sure what's going on that end, but I talked to Bomani and a couple other the project managers quite often.
Yeah, I
And,
met
and the
Omani
big
last
thing-
night.
Yeah, the
Right.
big thing is we as an African-American community have to learn how to build our capacity. That's it. That's the game. Right? If you don't have the capacity to do the job, you're not going to get the job.
Well, I'm telling you, that's going to change. Maybe not. It's going to be challenged. It's going to be challenged because over the last year, as I told you when we first met, Chuck, it was $750 billion worth of contracts, dollars coming through the city of Pittsburgh, and 1% went to minority companies because it was not.
That's not right.
accurate.
I'm
That's
talking
not
about.
accurate.
I was using numbers from 2021. Read the Business Time if you think it's not accurate.
From the city of Pittsburgh? No.
No, that's-
This is our
No,
commission.
no.
We're responsible for that.
No,
We
we're-
have the numbers.
No. Here's the actual numbers, Commissioner. Upazan and I do at least, and this is from the URA, the Housing Authority, and the city of Pittsburgh. We're in the 20% tile of minorities and women getting money. So I don't know where you got that 1% from. Yeah, we're in the
Yeah,
20.
Can you send that link? Can you send the link out to the commission, please? Where you got that information? Because that is, I will challenge it.
That's what we're here for.
That's what we do.
Yeah,
That's why
what
we're
doing.
here.
That's why we're here. So that's not a correct number. That's what we're here for. If somebody came with a 1% on the contract, guess what? You guys would send it. You would send it back in a heartbeat at 1%. It wouldn't even be close.
We wouldn't be here anymore if we didn't.
I
if we
was
cared
not-
too
I was
much
not
to ever
refer-
let it be that.
I was not referring to minority participation. I was referring to number of dollars going into the African-American community. So I stand down. This is this is not time for me to raise this issue. I stand down, and I'm comfortable with where we are at this point.
Okay.
Okay, but I'll be honest with you, Commissioner. That's why we're here. You guys would scream bloody murder at me if I came to you with a contract with anything less than 10% on it. I've been there, done that, got screamed at for it. Not just by you guys, but everybody down here. Okay? If anything's under less than 10%, you guys will never see it. Never. For me,
Okay.
that's money, that's dollars.
I want to apologize. I did get loud. That's not appropriate.
Right.
You're new to it. You have a lot to see,
Okay.
a lot to just yourself.
Right. Okay,
It's just that we're volunteers and we give our time because we care about this mission. This advocacy that we do, we care about it or we wouldn't give our own time to do it.
and I'm gonna be.
That's why I got defensive, but I apologize. I shouldn't have out loud.
I also want to mention this, Commissioner Belthorpe, out of the companies that you originally sent me to do a little research on with contracts in the city and around them, four of them have contracts with government agencies. Not small. A&A does excellent. A&A Consulting, one of your companies, does excellent. R&R Trucking does excellent.
Oh yeah, we've had A&A a lot of times.
Yes, so there are companies that are doing in your stable that are doing excellent with contracts with the city. Okay?
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, there's one more thing I wanted to mention though, guys, before I let you go. Upazan and I just got the PA database for the LGBTQ plus community. Okay, so we just got that database. We're gonna start kicking that out to our procurement department and our primes. And they're gonna also register Upazan and I on the national database. So hopefully we'll be able to bring those numbers up. Those are the toughest numbers to bring up right now. By far, those are tough.
And I just wanted to mention, we weren't able to go through the ITQ work order updates. So I won't go through each one of them. I briefly just wanted to say that we have recently had 5 ITQ work orders, 1 from city planning and 4 from DOMI. And we've had good participation on each one of them.
I understand, Jim, your frustration. I do, because I'm frustrated too. But until we learn how to work together and build our capacity where we can bid like a Moranti, okay? A Moranti's a middle of the road guy. They're not a PJ Dix, right? They're not a Maceros. But we still haven't reached that level here yet. Okay, so there's mid-level stuff that we could reach if we build our capacity. That's all. It's to me, it's not simplistic, but it's not hard. It's not rocket science either.
Right. And I like I said, I understand that I guess my frustration is because I mean I've been doing this for like 25 years also, and I know that you're not going to build a company to become a major prime company by being subcontractors. I do know that. So if they're not some super subs or some strong prime opportunities, we're going to be looking at the same few minority companies that we're looking at now, and you'll be going out of state looking for companies because Pittsburgh has not really provided enough opportunity on a prime level for contractors. So don't want to revisit that conversation because I know that it's going to be much more research is going to be needed, and stronger voices than mine are probably going to have to be heard.
Right. But I'm gonna say this and then I'll let it go. Jim, I'll say this and I'll let it go. How many African-American companies in this city have bid on a $75 million contract?
None to my recollection.
There you go. You got to bid on it and be able to do the capacity to get it. Right now, I think it's wide open for everybody. That's what we're trying to make it. Wide open for everybody to get on these contracts. I agree with you. I'm frustrated too. I would like to see more African-American primes on contracts.
Okay, we're working together with this. I think I'm optimistic. I wouldn't be, as she said, Chairman, I wouldn't be volunteering my time if I were not optimistic. And I guess I see things that because of my position with Black contractors, I see things that you guys don't see. I see my contractors having to go to Washington, D.C. and to other companies that are more minority friendly to get jobs. And it's frustrating to me when they're located in Pittsburgh and they're qualified. So I understand what you said. They got to get Beacon qualified. We have to be able to compete with the primes. So I have to go back and do more homework so we can get these contractors ready as you guys suggested.
All right, does anybody else have anything they want to add? No?
And I just want to say, I'd like to say this to you, Commissioner. I appreciate where you're coming from, and I get it. When I started this job in 18, end of 18, beginning of 19, we were around 10, 12% participation overall. I'm in the 20s now. By this time next year, I'm gonna try to be in the 30s.
Right.
That's where I'm shooting at, okay? And I agree with you, and I agree with all you commissioners, that more businesses, other businesses, than are getting the opportunities, need to get some opportunities, okay? But my job is to keep those percentages as high as I can, right? I'm going for 30% now participation, and those are real dollars. Those are 30% money going to somebody's business.
Let me ask you a question. You asked me a question about whether any African Americans prime is ready to handle a $75 million contract. I had to say no. But let me ask you, in your tenure, have you developed any subcontractors and moved them to a level of prime contracting based on their relationship with the city?
Yes, we have 3 or 4 contractors working with Macero right now. Working with Mr. Macero right now on how to build their capacity.
Good.
Yep, Mr.
Thumbs
Macero,
up.
Mr. Macero's, he's dynamite. He has 3 companies on how to build their capacity.
Excellent.
Yep.
And that's what's needed. Because to your point, if you're going to be a sub and continue to be a sub, what is the point? We're supposed to be helping them build capacity, but that's also a part of the documentation with the checklist that a prime comes to us and says, we're using this sub. What are you doing to help build them? What are you doing to mentor them? And that's part of that checklist. So that may be something that we have to ask more questions about. What are you specifically doing to support them and to help promote them and mentor them? Because if we keep doing this same cycle over and over again where somebody is a sub, then is this all for naught?
Right. And I agree.
This forum that we're in right now is exactly where we could do that to, for lack of a better term, shame them into, because they have to be on this call. So the primes need to be on the call. We have the opportunity to ask them questions. And Tracy, you're right. We could flat out ask them that question at this meeting.
Right.
Ms. Tracy, you put your thumb right on the problem. And because what happens is by continue to be like, we can say, yes, we've made minority participation, we met this number, but to continue to be a subcontractor, you only really a glorified labor, and you cannot grow your company off of small subcontractors. So whereas I appreciate the subcontracting opportunity, we have to be more progressive and to think about how we can get these companies to mentor these companies to put them on another level. And I'm sure we can do that without violating contract law.
Well, here's another thing that the ITQs actually do.
Yeah.
Right? This is another thing you'll learn as we go along. With the ITQs were built in to get more minority and women as primes. That was part of that ITQ development. Okay. I understand you, Jim. I really get it. I'm not against you on this. I'm with you on this. But until we get somebody to help us build capacity, which some of the major primes can do, they can do that. They really can. Your PJ Dicks, your Maceros, your big boys can help the smaller companies build their capacity where one day they can be the prime.
Good. Well, I agree with the chairman. She has really done a good job in terms of keeping this meeting to a minimum time-wise. So I did not want to make this about me.
Oh, no, that's okay.
Put those issues on the table.
Those are good questions. Those are good questions. And they're great concerns. They're not like they're great concerns. And even Commissioner Lewis, she's absolutely right. They're great concerns here in our city. They are. Because there's cities that have the same capacity as Pittsburgh that do have a lot of Black prime contractors that have multi-million-dollar contracts. It's true, they're there. I've researched them, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, they got them. They're there. But by the same token, do I reach out to one of those Black primes in Cincinnati to say, here, come on and bid a contract in Pittsburgh? Or one of those primes in DC or Atlanta to say, here, come bid in Pittsburgh? And I do, but they don't.
And honestly, the real money is in the private. So these city contracts, there is no money. It is so thin. It's so thin. There's no profit.
Yeah.
So but I mean, if I were a DBE, my goal would be to be a sub for a prime, get the tutelage, get them to mentor me, get them you know,
Right.
be a sponge and then go after private and make money, make big money.
I
But that's,
apologize, but I have to leave. This is Monica. I'm so sorry.
Okay,
I have
that's
a
okay.
meeting.
We're gonna wrap this up.
Thank you.
so, but yes, I agree with you. I agree with you, Commissioner. We got a long way to go.
Yeah.
But we're on the right road.
You'll see.
We're on the right road.
Yeah, I bet after being on this commission for probably another 6-8 meetings, I think your opinion will change.
I think we're on the right road. We have a long way to go though. But we're
Very
on the
good.
right road.
Everybody's committed. That's the
Yeah,
point.
yeah,
Excellent.
right.
Okay. Okay, if there's nothing else, I'm gonna adjourn the meeting.
The August meeting is gonna be, I believe, the third week in August, so it's gonna come real fast. And I know, just an update from the Housing Authority, that they're gonna have quite a few,
Yeah,
because they finally got somebody to take Brandon's spot. So they're gonna have quite a few from Housing Authority next month, plus our city contracts. And I also talked to the SEA.
oh, good.
They're doing something down at the 9th Street Garage that they're gonna come back to. So, next month might be a little bit bigger anyway.
All right, well, tell Housing Authority to have all their Ts crossed and their Is dotted before they come.
Yeah, I'll make sure. Renelda's pretty good, so
Okay,
she's pretty good, so. But I just want to give you guys a heads up, okay? And the only reason we haven't, I talked to, Chris Holt at Parking Authority, their procurement director. And the only reason that we haven't seen Parking Authority is because they're not making any money to do any improvements. Nobody's parking in the garages.
I know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they're down to like almost 40% of the money
Wow.
that we make. So that's why we haven't seen those guys. They haven't done any major.
Who in the world would ever have thought
Yes.
that Merrill Stabille's business would take this hit and not see a bright future in front of it? I mean, it's COVID.
Amazing how fast it happened, right?
It's
And-
my business too.
Yeah.
Those
And
people
with-
aren't in their office. They're not printing the Xerox copiers. I mean, yeah, it's
And with
Scary.
the major corporations downtown letting their employees work from home.
everybody is.
You know, I know for a fact that Mellon only has their employees in 2 days a week.
Well, because they don't have to pay for those leases for the
Right.
parking garage.
Parking garage, so,
They're saving so much money.
yeah. So that's why the Parking Authority hasn't been back to us, guys.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a shame. All right, guys, I got lots of work to do and I'm sure you all do too. So till next month, if and you go by Jim, Arthur? Is that
Arthur Jim Barthrop, right?
okay?
And-
If you want to reach out to me offline and have further discussion or have, just ask me any questions. I've been on this, like I said, I've been on this commission for 10 years. I've seen it at its worst and I feel like I'm seeing it getting towards its best. So,
And also, Commissioner, if you want Upazan and I to go over the whole.
he really should have some type of orientation.
Yes, we can do it, okay?
Well, I thank you, Mr. Chairman, for the thumbnail overview of ITQ. That was
Yes.
very helpful. And
Yes, we'll take as much time as you need, and we'll work with you and show you, because we also meet with the project managers here, guys. Upazan and I meet with all the project managers in the city also to make sure. So there's a lot behind the scenes that Upazan and I do that you guys just don't see at the meeting, so to speak.
all right.
All right. Okay,
Make-
guys. Have a good month.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Can you make a motion to adjourn?
I make a
Motion to adjourn.
All right.
Amen. I second.
All right.
Have a
Thank
nice
you.
week. All right.
Have a great day. Good
You
weekend.
as well.
Bye-bye.